still live on Breakfast Daily, and we are still in our communities looking at some pressing issues there. Now we move over to the Western North, where we have some complaints coming from residents of Wuruwuru. They are threatening to demonstrate for lack of infrastructural development. What exactly do they mean by that, and what really do they want? Let's take a look at this report. When we come back, we'll try to find answers.
Companies all over the country have other corporate social responsibilities which allow them to carry out developmental projects that benefit residents of communities within their catchment areas. These include provision of schools, hospitals, boreholes, scholarship schemes for brilliant but needy students, amongst others. But that has not been the case with the people of Wuruwuru. The lumbering company, LLL, which according to them has been in existence for over 50 years on Sefwi land, has never made any attempt to support the indigenes despite all the negative effects of their activities on their lives. Addressing the media, the convener for the youth group, Clement Kufiamuakon, is beseeching government to order LLL to either establish a wood processing factory in the area where the youth can gain employment opportunities, or allow the local sawmill firms to also access the forest for their operations.
Either say on babaye company ni ha omu factory no and so baye ni so melo so be the factory say ni suhuma tie no and ye fa ye person hu say LL4 company ni ama say panua e betimi akọ ye pa adwuma ye wi school ye pa adwuma ye ye betimi akọ ko suhuma omo fa adwuma sefo ni bi omo fa hwemfo omo fa bosomo so omo fa mafie omo fa kura atwa won hia ni nyina mrantia ni maba na adwuma. But LL4 there, why no for just say ye kwasi adwuma e ma mo na me fa so mfa so mo bu ye kwasi a che ye come na to say na nanu man kasa so man pani wa ye hu bibi ama ye ya ye be ye hu bibi ma be sim ai na e bia de be ye no na ye tia mra your man time ye obodwa oka say ye ni mra so ntia pe say di ma enu ti na ne ye sa press conference say na be ya panifo bete na o mo LL4 atrase o mo de ofro mo kro mo ma. The
Chafuhene of Sefwi Wiawso traditional area, chief of Sefwi Amafie, and overlord of Wuruwuru, Nana Yao Bedu II, has given 2 weeks ultimatum to embark on a demonstration against government if their concerns fail to be addressed with immediate effect.
Yeah, Sefwi mine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Na ye kan kama nenso ha ye kana se abampa info ministers MPs o monfie nya e be demonstration de tia aban no esan se kwasebu ya ena tia kufika he no se bibia ye bia no e wo se ye nya ho mfaso e de mfaso na ye nya kwaye no se ye nkrofobia ana se ahifobia se nipa bia ye ni briska ukọ ba bia hu ye garan se wo mkwaye mu mehwe kwaye we ni virgin forest e wo ha e wo de wo Ghana forest a ye ntu garan se wo mda a obi antimi kọ kwaye nim ye na ebo ho bai nti e besere se o mo am tie de ye ka no ye ma o mo na otwu mienu o mo ya nti o mo nka ye so ye betu hofo.
Some of the residents have been speaking with Citi News.
Uko ukura omu 2 miles wo ho a unsem puntudwuma ekoso kama ye school dan ukohwa enye kura akola akọ school kura no su fi se atete apansam ndua kura ye bobo gate ni nkonyo ombetan so kura ye ni bi ele ye mpenfo so etuan fo se ma mfa don ma machine emfa nko forest ni mu nti ye tie yenya papai yenya hwe te ma kuro na nkasa no ahokyere ewo kuro no mu
Mranti ni bebre awie school ebinom chenso operators ebinom skra adravers anka LL4 ba ha no betimi afa won adwuma na anka onso atimi anya de ombedi ni nyina mu no LL4 de krofo firi baabi nom na ede won eba
Right now, Stanley Bodi is our Western North Regional Correspondent, and he joins us on the line. Thank you very much for your time, Stanley.
Yeah.
Right, so what's the main occupation of the people of Wuruwuru?
So basically, they are farmers. Yeah, the residents of Wuruwuru are basically farmers. It is a farming-dominated area, as all the other communities.
Right. Now, what exactly is their challenge here? Because when you look at what the lumber firms are doing, is it affecting their farming in any way?
Yeah, so if you come here, the situation is very pathetic because it is not only the residents of Wuruwuru, but the stretch from Bopa Junction to Bopa, then Asante Krom. From there, you progress to Wuruwuru, Shell, Intom, and then Pojo Krom. Then you enter Amenfi West, which is in the western region. The communities there, they lack infrastructure. We can talk of potable water. In fact, for Wuruwuru, the 4 boreholes that they have, it is only one that is operational now. And then their school too is dilapidated. It is in a very poor state. And then the new structure that the MP initiated to has been abandoned. It is left in the bush and nothing has been done about it yet. And then we can also talk about network problems in the area. In fact, for that stretch, it is only the community of Bopa that has access to telecommunication network. So the problems here is very, very, very pathetic.
Right, but what are the traditional leaders saying about this? Have you been able to establish any contact with them?
Yes, I have been speaking with the development chief of the area, and he is Ordinary Education. Yes, they are very much concerned about development of the area, and that is why they are calling on government to do something about the operations of the lumbering companies there, so that at least they can support the communities with basic infrastructure such as toilet facilities and then school blocks, clinics and other social amenities.
Now, Stanley, a question I have is, why is the community, why does it seem as though the community is upset with the lumbering company?
Yes, so that is basically the company that operates here, and they are talking about their road, the stretch that connects to that place, especially from Bopa Junction to Bopa, is not 6 months old. It is a new road, but because of the operations, the road has destroyed.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
That is why they are more concerned about that lumbering company.
Okay. All right. No, so that makes sense, because I was wondering, I mean, if the company is there doing its business, how does that affect their lack of development? So that makes sense. So in terms of the DCE, or MCE, otherwise, and then also the MP, what are any of these leaders within the community saying about the situation there? Because the images that we are seeing on our screens don't look good at all, you know. What are the assembly doing, and what are they saying as far as the developmental issues are concerned?
So this area is under the jurisdiction of Sefwi Wiawso district. Okay. Yeah. So according to the residents, they have made so many attempts to consult with the district assembly, but they have not done anything about it, except for the school block that they started to put up, which has also been abandoned for years.
Okay.
Yes.
I see. All right. Stanley, well, thank you for speaking to us. Let's see if we can get any of the leaders within the community to talk to find out, you know, what they can really do about the situation. Because yes, I mean, everybody in Ghana deserves a lot better than what we see in the images there. So thank you for bringing us that report. That was our colleague Stanley Bodi, who is our Western North Regional Correspondent. You do realize also that Western North is one of the new regions that was carved out a couple of years ago. And Sefwi, I believe, is the capital.
Yes,
Sefwi Wiawso is the capital. And so it stands, to reason that for a long time, the people haven't had any development attention, given to them. But when you find that a road that has been built has now been worn down because of heavy truck movement, then you have to start asking the questions, what is the responsibility? Because even when you are not wearing down the road, we still look to say, as a business in the community, CSR, we need to see some kind of giving back because you're taking from the land. But then you're not just taking from the land, you're also adversely impacting the infrastructure.
I think that
right?
David, government must pay attention to some of these things because if we have, let's say, a multinational company come to a certain area, these are some of the things that we can really make sure they do.
Yeah.
I know some of them have these responsibilities to take care of, but the thing is, are they doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, and I think traditional leaders must also stand their grounds that these are the things that we demand. For you to come in, at least give us a school,
so
give us a
in
clinic,
the space
give
of,
us,
let's say, the next 2-3 years, we need to see this.
because
or
if
that.
if it's a lumbering company and they are felling down trees, they are depleting the environment and whatever it is there. Do you get it? In that space, although these resources belong to the state, there are people who physically are responsible for that. People who have to make sure that the place is there because it falls within their jurisdiction and all that. And so what are they getting out of that? And I think that traditional leaders must really also demand some of these things.
I agree. I mean, it's fair enough to hold a deba and talk about it, but really, I mean, there has to be that engagement to say, listen, it's our land, it's our territory. We will limit what you have access to if we don't see anything from you. Because you can go and get a permit from wherever, but this is our space.
People can
here.
frustrate you because they should have that engagement, i.e. maybe 20% of your workforce must come from within the community.
Kind of so that there's a positive impact,
I think that Ghana needs to be very strategic on some of these things, you understand, to minimize unemployment, to make sure that economic activities are happening, in areas like this. It's not an issue of I have the license from Accra, so I'm coming in to do whatever I want to do. I have no business with the community members. I have no business with the chiefs and all that. I don't think that we really need to just sit down and watch some of these things happen. And that is why they will make a big deal out of having multinationals come in and do whatever they want to do without paying attention to the needs of the community.
Just as a case in point, I actually traveled years ago to Samra Boy, and very interesting journey and an interesting town. But what I realized was that Samatex, the wood company, was there, basically was the reason why the town was alive. Yeah. Right. So the back in 2005, the main challenge was road infrastructure. But I also understand from the wood company's point of view that it's like the way the road is, if they pave the road nicely, right? The community members didn't necessarily need the road, but if they pave the road nicely, now the town becomes accessible to a lot of other people. So,
exactly.
But then what they did was that they had provided electricity for the entire town, water, clean potable water. They were making sure that the town had that, and it was from their own systems that they had created there. So this is good impact,
of course,
for the people.
Look, David, if for nothing at all, now there's security.
Yes.
Because if the place is well lit, exactly, you understand, some of these things, it's not just about putting monies in the pocket of the people, but how to positively impact their lives, is what we are looking at.
And a lot of the factory hands came from Samra Boy.
Exactly. Right. So we have the Amafia Hine and Trafohine of Sefwi Wiawso traditional area, Nana Yaobedu II. Thank you very much, Nana, for your time.
Thank you. Welcome.
Right. Nana, so what is the way forward now? Have you been able to engage political leaders in your area or the management of the lumber companies?
Thank you, madam. I'm great. I send my greetings to your listeners and the viewers.
Thank you.
The issue is you have gone to them several times. If you propose something to them, they don't want to.
This is the company.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have gone to them several times, and they refuse. So for now, we have decided that we won't allow them to go to the forest and do this, harvest the trees, because it is our property. So when we are taking it, and apart from SRE, the 5% that you are giving it to the community, they can't do anything. So we want them to come and sit down with us so that you are going to invite them to build school, clinics, and so many things, water, and all those things. My sister, if your reporters at this region, if he has shown it to you, look at the road, the access. Just a few years ago, they did that road for us. But go and look at the road. It's because of your heavy trucks. That is why it has happened in that way. So for now, we are not going to sit down and look at them and do whatever that they like. No.
But Nana, they have permit to do what they are doing.
They have permit.
Yeah.
But they also have to help the communities. You see, when they harvest the trees, they send it to Kumasi. Even if you want to roof your house, and you need the logs, you can't get some. All these things are also major problems. And when they give some to the small companies around these communities, they just go and collect it from them because they have their money. And the young guys over here, they don't have the money.
But have you discussed this with the district assembly in your area?
You have discussed it with them several times.
And what did they say, or what have they been saying?
They said they are talking to the companies, so they would find ways and means. But still.
But do you not consider it unlawful for the community, you and your people, to take laws into your own hands and say you will prevent them from going about their activities which they have permits for?
That is why our country is depriving. That is why the country is not developing. Anything, then they say the law. The law, who is the law? The law is between me and you. That is why the law is there.
So Nana, please go on.
If the person is cheating you, you have to sit down and fold your hands. No.
So Nana, would you consider maybe having a last meeting, let's say with the assembly, and then give them timelines on what they need to do and what you...
And if they can come, my sister, look at this. Communities around the forest. Last 3 weeks, 1 month ago, one of their workers lost middle of the forest. Is these communities, they organize themselves to go and look for the person. And at the same time, you are teaching them like this. Is that fair? So henceforth, we are not going to allow them to do that thing again.
But why are you blaming the company and not the district assembly or government?
What I'm saying is you are blaming the assembly, the company, and the government. I'm blaming all of them.
Okay.
I'm blaming all of them.
All right. So right now, what is your immediate action that you're going to take?
The immediate action is that henceforth they shouldn't go there for harvesting any tree anymore until they come to us and sit down and see to it that whatever that you need, you put it in a paper so that they will come and fulfill their promises. Unless that has happened, if not that, you won't allow them to work.
Well, thank you very much, Nana.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
So now anger has set in. I think that it's also very important that, some of these multinational companies coming in, gather intelligence on the grounds, so you can get your permit and do all these kind of things. But the local people can also come in to frustrate you.
Yeah. No, but you see, I also think that this is 2023, right? You can't go and tap the resources of a locality without having without having the intention and the wherewithal to say, you know what, let's talk to the people. What do they need?
Yeah.
What can we give them, right? I don't like the imposition of things where you say, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, we'll give you that. It's like, that's what we want to give you. No. I like the whole fact that we can sit down with you and say, listen, we have an idea of what we would like to do. What do you need the most? We can't do everything at once, but if you give us the next few years, we can give you this, we can give you that, we can give you that. And then you start working towards that.
Exactly, and it's important, and we need to establish that our forest reserves do not belong to the communities.
No.
They belong to the state, just like the mining concessions and all that belongs to the resources belong to the state. Having said that, you can decide to just go get permits and then go do your business. But like I mentioned earlier, it is situated in a community, and there are human beings in that community that you have to deal with. These people can decide to frustrate your whole operations, although you have your permit, but they can just frustrate the entire process. So it's very important that, you work on intelligence to know what the people need and how we can engage traditional leaders and community members in this area, just so you have your peace of mind to do what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, the people who issue permits will be sitting in Accra, will be sitting in Kumasi somewhere, and then you will have to deal with the local people in that area. And so it's very, very important that we pay attention to some of these things. Beyond getting permit to do what you have to do, what else do you have to also pay attention to, just so you have a peace of mind and a sanity to carry on with your operations? And this is where we find ourselves.
We've been joined on the line by Clement Amoako, who's the convener of the Rural Youth in Sefwi Wiawso. Clement, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so we understand that, everybody's up in arms now to make sure that the lumber company gives back, a lot more than they are doing to the community, so that the community benefits. What are the steps that you are taking to make this happen?
Thank you so much. Yes, the steps we are taking, we are appealing to the government. In fact, we are appealing to our paramount chief, Kateche Kwesigu Magama, who is the overlord of the land.
Okay.
To, as a matter of fact, call LLA to order. It's operated here over 50 years ago. So at our time, we don't know the negotiations that we did. We are calling on the chiefs. We are calling on our MPs to sit them down, because they are disrespecting us. They don't do anything for the people of Wuruwuru. And in fact, we are not only speaking for Wuruwuru, all the catchment areas, the areas that they operate. They take the lumber, they send it to Kumasi. They don't even have their company anywhere in Sefwi Wiawso, anywhere in Sefwi. They take their things and take them to Sefwi Wiawso, take them to Kumasi. They don't work here. They don't take our youth. They don't employ our youth.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, even when we need wood to do our things, we have to go to Kumasi to buy. Meanwhile, we are taking care of the trees. So we are appealing to the traditional authority, our MP, Forestry Commission, as a matter of fact, to bring LLA into order, because they are disrespecting us. They are cheating us. So that is the should call them to order. The MP should call them to order. The negotiation that is did over 50 years ago, we want to renegotiate.
And when you say renegotiate, I don't understand. What are you hoping to get out of it by the renegotiation?
Yes. You see, that's why I said that we don't know the sort of negotiation that is did, that they should take the lumber to Kumasi. That's where their factory is. They don't have factory anywhere in our area.
Yeah.
We have the sawmill, that timber firm, the small ones. Those who are operating here, if you need wood, that's where you go. Even in Wuruwuru, the LLA has nothing to show that they are operating in our land.
Yeah.
Our school is dilapidated. There are no chairs. No chairs. So, you are taking wood from our land. Why do we lack chairs? Chairs.
Yeah.
So, then the renegotiation is that maybe our grandfathers negotiated that they should take the lumber all to Kumasi. They should do nothing to the people where they are taking their lumber.
Yeah.
So we want to sit them down. And this time around, we want to see them doing something for the community in which they take their raw material.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So we are calling on the traditional authority, Domaine, Kateche Kodimangama, and his chief.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much, Clement, for speaking to us. So that was Clement Amwako, who's the convener of the Wuruwuru youth in Sefwi Wiawso. Now, I do agree that there has to be a conversation at all levels, particularly between the company and the community leaders, also the district assembly. But, you know, the thing is that Logs and Lumber Limited is situated in Kumasi.
Yeah.
They have a concession that they are harvesting from. So they go in, we cut, we tow it to Kumasi, we go and work in Kumasi. So it's probably that mindset that is like, we're not really even working here.
Yeah, but you use our roads. You use, you come into our space.
Yes.
And I think that the lumber company really needs to come say something about this.
Yeah.
We're trying to reach them. So it's not an issue of just listening to the community and not saying anything. It looks like they are not ready to talk about it. Now, maybe later they will also address these concerns. So I understand.
Because like the chief said,
let us hear from you.
The 5% really doesn't do anything for them. They want infrastructure. They want to see real infrastructure. And for me, I think the biggest one is the road. If you're applying the road and because of your heavy trucks, the road is being destroyed, build a good road there that you can use and the community too can benefit from it. It's as simple as that. I mean, there's no two ways around it.
Yeah, so
you
all
are
it's
using
here,
it.
as it stands now, this is what the community is saying. If the lumber company, that's LLL, has any other thing to say, which is not exactly in agreement with what the community is saying,
we should hear from them. Yeah.
Because if you say you don't want to talk about it for now, we will take it as it is for now.
Yeah.
And so, as and when you're ready to speak, we'll hear you.